2024 has come to an end, and now it's time to venture into a brand new year of movies. What's in store for this year? Who knows? But what I do know is that these are the most anticipated titles coming in 2025, along with ones that I'm personally excited for. I'll be running these down in no particular order, and if you like this content, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to stay up to date with the latest videos just like this. All support is appreciated. Alright, so first up we have Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I firmly believe that the Mission Impossible series is one of the best action series of all time, with consistency throughout the entire franchise, which is very impressive since there's quite a bit of movies in the series. This, however, will mark the final movie, or so they say. Ethan Hunt and the crew will go through their one final mission after the events of the last movie. The plot hasn't really been revealed, but from the trailer we can see the crazy stunts from hanging off the sides of planes to deep ocean diving of some kind, and of course the classic Tom Cruise run. It's gonna be sad to see the franchise say goodbye, and I'm sure we're gonna lose some of the team members in the process, but I'm very excited about this one, even though I thought that the last one was a little weaker compared to the others, but I'm trusting in Cruise and the team to bring a big and effective close to the MI series. Up next is Karate Kid Legends. I've been on a Cobra Kai binge recently, and as it comes to an end soon, I find myself wanting more. That is one of the reasons why I'm personally looking forward to this movie, but on top of that, it actually looks pretty good. I think that the trailer that they dropped was extremely well edited and stars both Jackie Chan and the Karate Kid himself, Ralph Macchio. I'm not typically a fan of reboots or requels if you want to call them that, but this one actually looks very good. It seems to be very clean cut with an interesting storyline. I'm just hoping that it doesn't end up being something generic or cheesy. I'm hoping it hits a spot this summer, and the same crew behind Cobra Kai is behind this one. There's something about the lore and the world they've created with the characters that I hope to see them capture in this movie. Next up we have one of the biggest movies of this year with Superman. James Gunn will be manning the director spot for this one, and I think the visuals look incredible. The trailer dropped last month and was met with a lot of praise along with some criticisms. It seemed to be 50-50, although on second look, it looks like a lot of people are actually pretty excited about this one. But either way, it's still one of the most hyped movies that'll drop this summer, and for obvious reasons. First off, it's Superman, one of the most beloved and iconic superheroes of all time, and second is the director James Gunn and his career in film. The man behind Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad has proven that he can create those memorable and quality superhero movies. Aside from that, I personally think that the visuals are some of the best I've seen. Whether they're going to be able to make the story match the look of it is a whole nother thing, but this one is highly anticipated and might be one of the most hyped movies of this year. Next up, we have a bit of an oddball pick with Final Destination Bloodlines. It's been a while since a Final Destination movie has come out, and I personally thought that the franchise had just completely died. While the Final Destination movies are usually very campy and really not that great at times, I've always been a huge fan of the premise and concept, especially since it's not like your average horror movie. It typically takes a group of people and has one of them have a premonition about an accident or disaster that's about to occur, and thus saving the group. Death then goes after them one by one since they escape their fate. The cool thing is that they are killed in freak accidents in their surroundings, and not by a demon or slasher of some kind. So there's been 5 of these movies so far, and this will be the 6th. There's no trailer or plot even, but I believe this one will take place somewhere in the 60s or 70s from the picture that I saw. I might be completely wrong, they really haven't revealed much, but I'm hoping this brings some creativity and memorable kills with this next one. Next is Avatar 3: Fire and Ash. It goes without saying that Avatar is extremely popular and took the world by storm when it first came out. With James Cameron behind it once again, the popularity of the other two, it's no wonder that this one has a lot of people waiting in anticipation. Personally, I think Avatar 1 is probably one of the most overrated movies of all time, but I really did like the second one. We'll have to see if they bring the goods once again into the third movie. It seems to be following the same cast of characters, and I'm sure it's going to look stunning as well. And the name also makes me think that they're going to be implementing some fire in there as well, maybe some Phoenix type things. Who knows? We'll have to see what they do in the world of the Na'vi, but this one has a lot of eyes on it. Next, we have a bit of a controversial one, a Minecraft movie. For better or worse, millions of fans of the game are waiting to see how this one is going to be. It's a live-action adaptation of one of the biggest video games of all time, Minecraft. The movie also stars some big names like Jack Black and Jason Momoa, among others. The trailer was met with a lot of backlash saying that the graphics were strange, that it looked cringy, and just didn't match the vibe of the game at all. Also, who hasn't seen the Steve meme at this point? This could be a fun spring movie, or it could be a complete train wreck from the initial trailer. I'm thinking it might be the second, but we'll have to see what they do with it. It's going to rely heavily on story and the acting and how they implement the features of Minecraft in there. From what it looks like, the story will follow a group of people in the real world that get put into the world of Minecraft or something like that, and I'm sure we're going to see all the fish out of water tropes or people in a new land sort of situation, so we'll have to see about this one. Sticking with the theme of controversy, the next title is Disney's live-action Snow White. This is one of the most vintage and most iconic Disney stories out there, and one of the ones that really put Disney on the map back in the day. As with Disney's usual technique, they decided to remake this one into live action this year. For some reason, they love to recycle these ideas and get as much money as they can from their pre-existing stories, and this one's no different. So the controversy has been centered around the lead actress, with Rachel Zegler and her openness about her distaste for the original quote-unquote misogynistic original Snow White story. So we have the lead Snow White herself talking bad about the Snow White story, which is already a bad start. On top of that, the dwarves, which are an extremely important part of the story, look extremely weird and just animated and strange, which also got a lot of backlash from the audience. Please be sure to check out my full-length video where I discuss why I think it's going to fail in the I button right now on the screen. This one looks like yet another forced remake of the classic story, but nonetheless, it is Snow White, one of the most iconic princesses, and I know a lot of people are waiting to see how this one's going to be. Going back to superheroes, we have the new Fantastic Four, titled The Fantastic Four First Steps. As a beloved team of superheroes with plenty of character and lore that fans really love, people are eyeing this one to redeem the god-awful last one that they did, which was atrocious.
Say that again?
It's fantastic.
The movie stars a new cast including Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, Eben Moss-Bachrach, and more. There's no trailer or picture for this one yet. All we have is the cast list and some videos from the latest Comic-Con. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with this classic cast of characters, and I know there's a lot of fans of it. I, for one, really like the Fantastic Four, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. But they better redeem themselves from the last one, because yikes. Coming up next is Jurassic World Rebirth. Yes, I also thought that the last Jurassic World would be the last one. At least that's what they said it was going to be. I guess not, as we're back again with yet another one coming out this year. This one will follow a different cast of characters and takes place 5 years after Jurassic World Dominion. Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey are set to be the two leads for this one. Not quite sure what they plan on doing, but it's a good approach right off the bat to go with something completely different with a completely new cast of characters, a different storyline. Try something else. Jurassic Park is one of the best movies of all time, and the series has gained such a huge fan base, even with the lackluster last couple of movies. So while people may be skeptical, I know I am, this one is still highly anticipated from fans of the series, for better or worse. We'll have to see what they decide to do with this one in July. Another big one is Michael, a biopic that will follow the life and career of Michael Jackson, the king of pop himself. As far as I can tell, this would be the first high-budget biopic of Michael Jackson's life. There's been a few lower-budget ones that weren't received well, but fun fact, Michael Jackson will be played by Michael Jackson's real nephew, so one of Jackson's own family members. As one of the biggest artists of all time, I could see people awaiting his story being told on the big screen with a big budget. It's going to be important to do his story justice, and with all his fans he has internationally, even today, this one is going to be one to keep an eye on. I have my reservations with biopics, but his story is a really important and special one, so we'll definitely be catching this one when it drops. Up next we have Bong Joon-ho's new movie, Mickey 17. The acclaimed director behind Parasite, Memories of Murder, and other movies is back with a bit of a different movie this time. Robert Pattinson plays a frequently dying clone of himself, basically. The movie seems to have a comedic undertone to it, It seems like it'll be a fun adventure ride. Joon-ho has established himself as a solid director, and so has Robert Pattinson as an actor. So for them two in particular, I think a lot of people are going to come out to actually want to see this one. Also, this one just is highly anticipated just because it looks pretty fun. So we'll have to see. I'm pretty curious how this one will be. Up next is one that I'm excited for this year, Wicked for Good, the second part of the Wicked musical adaptation. I came into the first one with no expectations and really ended up enjoying it a lot. One of the best movies of the last year, actually. Please check out my full ranking of 2024 movies in the upper right hand corner. They were somehow able to stretch the first part of the musical into a 2.5-hour movie, so that leaves a full second half of the story to tell, which is exactly what this new one will do. I'm not too familiar with the musical, but I'm hoping that the second act is as good as the first. But this one is one to keep an eye out, and with the box office performance of the first one and the die-hard fan base around the musical, I don't think I'm the only one that's in that boat. And finally, wrapping things up here, we have Tron Ares. It's been quite some time since Tron has been in the limelight, and the last Tron movie came out over a decade ago. However, with that in mind, it's still a beloved series, with the last one being pretty good, all things considered. A new Tron will be dropping. This time, it will star Evan Peters, Jared Leto, Jeff Bridges, and Gillian Anderson, among others. There isn't a trailer or anything, but it will follow a highly sophisticated program called Ares as it gets sent into the real world for a mission. It could be something cool, and would love to hear a Daft Punk soundtrack again, but that'll probably never happen. I know Tron isn't like the biggest thing there is, but I know that a lot of people really do like the original, and there are quite a few fans of the last one. I think that in given the right hands and done correctly, I think Tron could be a really cool movie, but we'll have to see what they do with this one. So that's just a few of the most anticipated movies coming out this year. There's quite a few other ones, but which one are you most excited for? And let me know which ones I missed that you're especially excited for. Thank you for watching, and please be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with the latest videos just like this. All the support is greatly appreciated.